so beautiful day outside, which means I don't want to be inside. So I am going to be working on this rear deck lid or rear deck cover. First thing I have to do is I got to take it out. I have to do that by removing this seat. Then I remove the back seats and I'll be able to lift it out. I'm not going to video that. I got some tartan, the same color as my shift boot. And then I got adhesive, and they have 40% off all the time. So I spent about $13, and hopefully this is gonna work out. I've never done it before. I haven't really researched it too much, but I don't think it's too hard to do. It's kind of self-explanatory. I didn't get permanent adhesive just because when I do take it off, I don't want to rip the actual deck itself with maybe what the adhesive could do. So I got temporary, and yeah, so whenever I do paint my car, have it dipped or wrapped, I'll just be able to remove that and do something else. I was really torn between black crushed velvet and that same plaid, but I went ahead and decided to go with that. And then, like I said, if I paint, dip, or wrap my car, I can always change it later. Right now it's just this crappy, I think it used to be gray. I don't even know if it was gray or blue, but it's kind of a mix between the two. It's gross, sun faded. One thing you can do, if you're afraid this is gonna get sun faded from being out in the sun, which mine will not because it sits in the garage most of the time, you could probably spray some kind of UV protectant on it, just like you would anything. So, ooh, that's something I need to do. Is that Plasti Dip? No, that's just worn down. Okay, well, another thing on the to-do list. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so that back seat was a lot easier than I thought. I thought I was gonna have to unbolt something from what I'd seen on other channels, but it literally just sits on this little hook right here on both sides, and I lifted it up and it came right out. But I'm gonna work on taking this off right now. Okay, so I got this out. The only slight issue I ran into was the third brake light. You had to remove it from this little track, take the back of the brake light off, and it had a little plug and play, so I undid that. You had to unbolt the seat belts from the bottom of the seat and slide them through that area, and then you just lift it up, pulled it out. And then also on the back of the speakers, you had to unplug that goodness to be able to take it out. But as you can see, this is, I mean, it needs to be redone. It's gross. It's not as bad as I've seen other ones, but it's just about 4 different colors from sun fading. I don't know if this is from the black leather. Either way, it's getting done. Okay, so I just took those speakers out because I want it to fit underneath the speakers. I'm gonna do the same thing with this side. Okay, so each one of these, where the screw goes, has that. I'm gonna take those out and put those to the side. A little sharp under there. I need to remove this where the third brake light went, and it's gonna have a little bracket thing as well. Okay, then I'm going to take this thing out, put that to the side, and then this should come off. Oh, dang it, it's freaking vents. Alright, 4 of those. Sucker should come off now. Yeah. Alright, there it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this as a pattern. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm probably just going to use the actual lid as a pattern. It's in really, really good shape. It's not that nasty. I'm probably going to try and wipe some of the dust and stuff off so the adhesive spray will stick better. I don't necessarily want to wipe it down with anything that I think will eat away this material, but it's pretty hard. It's in good condition. a lot better than some others that I've seen, but I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna measure out my fabric and then I'm going to wipe this down. I just used some glass cleaner. I sprayed it lightly, not to where anything would dampen it. But once you think about it, it's been covered for 30 years. Nothing's been on it, so it's not that dirty. It's just a little dusty that I want to get that excess off, but I'm not going to be able to clean it, you know, extensively to where I want it. I just need to get like the surface dust off and stuff like that. Okay, so I got it on there. You can see some wrinkles right here, but that's because that's where a hole's at that I'm going to have to cut. So I covered the whole thing, stretched it out. It was easier. I did the back and then I started on that side and moved this way. It was easier to do it from side to side instead of back to front. I wish I would have done that to begin with, but I'm already done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this thing over and cut holes, or just cut a slit in the fabric, almost like a star shape, and then fold it underneath where the hole is at and spray adhesive there. Okay, I just did this section right here. It looks kind of sloppy, but a vent's going to go over it so you won't be able to see it anyways. I'm going to get those real quick and I'm going to put them back on before anything comes undone if I start pulling on other sections. Okay, so that vent's on and I'm gonna do the others now. Okay, I have all 4 vents in now. I'm gonna wait to tuck this under until I'm finished with everything, just in case I have to trim anywhere or in case I pull a little too tight in some spots. But now I'm going to cut the rest of my holes and put everything back where it goes. Okay, so everything is put back in place. The vents, the speakers, the third brake light bracket. Now I'm going to trim the sides and just adhesive them. Is that even a word? I'm going to stick them to the opposite side with the adhesive. I'm going to trim the excess off and do that, and then I'm ready to put it in. Alright, I'm officially finished. I will say, taking it out was harder than putting it back in. But just be sure you hang on to all your nuts and bolts and remember where everything went. I had to do the little seatbelt cover like 3 times because I could not remember how it went. But anyhow, I'm finished. Whew, I'm out of breath from doing those seats. You have to put a lot of pressure on them. I'm finished. It took me about an hour and a half. Maybe close to 2 hours. I tried to take my time. I didn't want to rush it, but I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. So I will show you right now.
Putting the band back together. Forget it. No way.
We're on a mission from God.
That is it. It was pretty tedious, so if you're not really detail oriented or into attention to detail or anything like that, I probably would not suggest doing that because there's a lot of detail to it. Also, it's kind of hard to get wrinkles and stuff out, which were driving me bananas, so it probably took me a little longer than somebody who maybe that wouldn't bother them. Hopefully it does bother you because it looked like crap. Anyhow, I'm finished. It took me, like I said, about an hour and a half, 2 hours because I took my time. Uninstalling everything took longer, like I said a minute ago, than installing everything back. You just have to make sure when you put the deck lid down that you aren't squeezing anything, because if you do, it's going to end up making the fabric come up. But yeah, that was it. It really wasn't meant to be a DIY or a tutorial of any sort, but going to that gasoline and caffeine today, it really kind of motivated me to get my car to where I want it to be and to put my touch on it. That's it. I hope you guys liked it. I like it a lot. I was almost fearful that it was going to be a little too much, but it's perfect. I like it. It blends very well. It's not overwhelming or anything like that. My neighbor was looking at me. I'll catch you in the next one. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing next, so we will just, I guess, find out together. Bye.